Hello and welcome to the Motorhome channel, the show that's dedicated to buying, owning and enjoying your motor caravan. I'm Niall Hampton, and over this summer we're going to be bringing you some special shows that we've imaginatively entitled our Summer Specials. Each show will have a theme and will mix together some reviews of new motor caravans alongside those that we've previously tested. There'll also be some friendly expert advice and some inspirational travel content from our archives. The first episode is going to be looking at the phenomenon of French bed layouts in motorhomes. So with that in mind, here's what's coming up on this episode.
We take a look at the Eldis AutoQuest 155. We're reviewing the Autosleeper Kingham. Niall shows us around the Niesman and Bischoff Arto 66F. And we tag along with Al and his family on their trip to Paris. But first,
we take a look at Imola, the new budget range from Auto Trail. A few things quicken the heartbeat of a motor caravanning enthusiast more than the sight of an auto trail. And if you're touring in the southwest this summer, you'll see a steady stream of them going in both directions on all the major roads. Now, the company surprised many for the 2015 season by launching a budget range. Every model under £50,000 and for less than 3,500 kilograms MTPLM. The reason for this is that Auto Trail traditionally mines the mid to upper market segments and does so very successfully. So very interesting to see them releasing a product where they've normally let one of their sub-brands, Tribute, do all that heavy lifting for them. So let's get inside and have a look and see what the finest motor caravan design minds in Grimsby have been busy doing. The 715 is a 4-berth with a French bed at one end and a make-up double here in the lounge at the other. There's also an option to have 2 extra berths up above in the overcab section, but on this particular demonstrator they've opted for storage instead. Now, the ambience in here is very pleasing. There's lots of mid-tone woods, which is just as well because there is a lot of woodwork on offer in this van. I particularly like the way that there's a bit of a relief in the overhead lockers. They have that beige strip along the bottom and the handles are actually hidden. So they're not on the outside, they're actually underneath. You pull them out and they close with a very reassuring click. High quality by anyone's book. I found another mark of quality when looking at the lounge windows. They've got cassette blinds. Fantastic, I thought, because most budget vans would be expected to make do with a roller blind, which generally aren't quite as effective as shutting out the light completely. Imagine my surprise, therefore, when I went to pull the curtains across and I found out that they were decorative only. And I thought, that's a bit strange. If they're decorative, why have them in? But I'm sure some customers would think, no curtains? That looks a bit strange. I like curtains. I'd rather have them. I suppose the two things are balanced out. Having no curtains and concertina blinds, I suppose, is an acceptable compromise. But for others who may not want to compromise, £650 will buy you the media pack, which gives you a flat screen TV, Bluetooth connectivity and a reversing camera, which is very handy for driving along on a vehicle with a flat back that you can't see behind at all. I particularly like that feature. There's a slew of driving aids fitted as standard on the Imola: gear change indicator, ESC, hill hold and cruise control with speed limiter, to name but a few. A couple of other things of note I really like are the chrome rings on the instrument cluster. That's very clever of Auto Trail to specify that, because it references the infills on the door handles outside, which have little chrome effect inlays, a very pleasing touch. British motor caravanners, Auto Trail knows who you are and what you want in your kitchen, and it has served up a real treat for you in this department. We have a dual fuel cooker. You get one electric hot plate to go with your gas burners, separate oven and grill, microwave oven with a very natty aluminium surround, good attention to detail there, and an oblong sink. Also a dual fuel fridge with separate freezer compartment. Another thing of note in the kitchen is this rather handy vertical plug socket. It's an efficient use of space because obviously it saves having to have them on the wall, but there's one small setback with this one. The actual sockets are round the wrong way. They don't allow you to stack plugs going upwards because the cables will get in the way. The simple solution is to rotate them through 90 degrees and the cables will be free to fall wherever they want. Now, you may be wondering why a French bed is exactly that. Je ne sais pas. Ask a Frenchman. I have no idea why they're called a French bed, but obviously it's better in the marketing. It sounds a little bit more kind of interesting than double bed with a cutaway. And why does it have a cutaway? to enable you to walk round the end of the bed and to get into the washroom. It's a very simple solution. It does mean, however, that the taller person will have to sleep on the outside and closer to the wall in the middle of the winter than the person on the inside, who definitely gets the better deal, and that extends to being able to get into the washroom in the middle of the night. Something else of note is the space heater. As you can see from the design, it's a real blast from the past. Now, most manufacturers don't fit this particular model anymore, but I'm told Auto Trail's customers really like them, so the company is happy to oblige. And who are we to argue with that? Now, a corner washroom can never be the biggest thing in the world, but this one is perfectly acceptable. There's plenty of space to get dressed, there's a vanity unit, plenty of hooks, a swivel loo, and a moulded shower compartment. The moulded shower compartment is pretty cool too, because it has a rail for drying towels and wet clothes. There's a blown air vent in the floor, so you can get your clothes dry in no time, just when you may have got caught out on a wet British afternoon. Now, there's one more thing I haven't mentioned yet. In fact, I almost saved the best till last. Look at this amazing umbrella holder. Auto Trail fits this to all its motorhomes, from the V-Line right up to the Apache and the Frontier. Imola has a lot of appeal, and the 715 will interest those who prize the comfort and convenience of a French bed. This model will cost you just above £45,000 on the road, so by the time you've pimped it up with some of the extensive options from Auto Trail's catalogue, you will still come out on the right side of 50k. I don't think that's a bad place to be. A quality coach-built motorhome from one of the true icons in British motor caravan production. So how does this compare with other vans on the market with a similar layout? Well, last year we looked at the Eldest AutoQuest 155 and the Auto Sleeper Kingham. The AutoQuest 155 is a fixed bed four-berth from County Durham manufacturer Eldest. It's received some important tweaks for the 2014 season, so let's get straight inside and have a look and find out what they are. The AutoQuest 155 is a four-berth on a low-profile body shell. It's manufactured using Eldest's solid body shell construction, which stands for strong, light and dry. This is proving very popular with buyers, and early reports indicate it's very good at keeping water out. Now, this may look like a sociable lounge, and in fact that's exactly what it is, but there's more going on than meets the eye. All is not what it seems. Hey presto, in a matter of seconds you can transform the lounge seat benches into a pair of belted travel seats. Why is this a big deal? Well, Eldest has eschewed the familiar bench seat configuration, which would obviously be a bit unusual with this kind of layout and stick out and be kind of awkward and everything, and decided to separate them, one on each side of the vehicle. These are extremely well engineered. The seat coverings are by Guti, the German brand, which is a familiar sight in top-class German motorhomes. I think this is a fantastic development. I mean, some would say you're losing a little bit of storage in these seat bases, but you do have a fixed bed at the rear, which has a cavernous amount of space underneath it. Now, there's so much space in this kitchen, it should be illegal. Just look at all this room you have to work your culinary magic. Down here we have a fridge freezer, a separate oven and grill, 3 gas rings, nice deep sink. Up above, some pretty good storage units with two-tone facings to contrast from the rest of the van. And the one thing I like most of all, just in case you were wondering there wasn't much work surface to work with, look at this. We have an extendable worktop. Fantastic. Now, the other great advantage of this layout, of course, is the fixed bed at the rear. Now, some people say fixed beds are not very space efficient. I think you'd probably change your mind if you see this one. It is massive. Look at this, it's got a cutaway for easy access at the side, and this mattress is really deep and really firm. I think you would get a great night's sleep on this. Now, earlier on I mentioned the underbed storage, because obviously if you're losing a little bit of storage in the midships lounge, you need something at the back. No sweat, just check this out. We lift it up to reveal a large storage area underneath, which can be loaded from outside the van or through the top, just like this. Now, the trade-off for having a rear fixed bed is the fact that you have a corner washroom, in this case a corner wet room. It's fairly cosy in there, but there's everything that you need. You can wash your hands, have a shower, use the loo, there's a mirror, storage, no problem at all. Now, some people like using site facilities, in which case a wash block is going to offer a more comprehensive range of things that you need. But if you like doing your ablutions in the van, everything you need is contained inside. But the sleeping arrangements don't end there, because if you come forward to the lounge, you can see you can create another double bed here very easily, just using a sliding slats bench. Now, hats off to Eldis for doing this, because not only do you get these fold-up retractable travelling seats, but you also get a proper bed here. So this is a genuine four-berth, and in that respect, the AutoQuest 155 has a lot going for it. Now, with the Lux pack of extra goodies as fitted to our test van, the Eldis AutoQuest 155 will set you back £40,500. Now, these extras include things like cab air conditioning, cruise control, and an electric entrance step, and in my opinion, fantastic value for money. On the upside, this is a flexible van with a fantastic fixed bed and those excellent retractable travel seats. Slight downside, it's quite long, 7.2 metres. But if you've got the kind of front driveway that can handle that, and you don't mind the manoeuvrability factor of a slightly bigger van, then this is a very good proposition, and I'd have no hesitation in recommending it. Now, the Auto Sleeper Kingham was the company's biggest launch at last autumn's NEC show. Regular viewers may remember that we have already had one to look at, but we haven't had one to look at under touring conditions. That all changes today as we're up in Yorkshire looking at the Kingham. Moving inside, we have a cracking front lounge. It's an extremely sociable space, especially in the sense that you have a two-person sofa here. You can open the door, you can look out at an amazing view. In fact, you can invite some friends and family around, spin these chairs round, you can put an occasional table in here. So it's an extremely sociable area with a lovely ambience. Now, if you're buying an Auto Sleepers motorhome, you're buying a certain kind of quality, and the cabinet and the fit and finish in the Kingham doesn't disappoint at all. Those lockers, two-tone, chrome infills, very well made, very well screwed together, and they don't budge an inch when you touch them. The other good thing that Auto Sleepers has done here is limit this van to a two-berth. They haven't tried to put another bed in here or another berth. They've just kept it simple. This van is for couples, and I think that's why it works, because it's definitely quite spacious. Now, when is a fixed bed not a fixed bed? Answer, when it's in the Auto Sleeper Kingham. What do I mean by that? Well, as you can see, the bed is currently in a raised position. You push it back during the daytimes to increase the floor space, and it also gives you a handy place should you want to go and read something. At night times, you pull it towards you, you flatten the bed, and then you have your 40 winks and comfort and style on a memory foam mattress. And when you're not using the bed for anything to do with sleeping, you can pull it up and you've got a cavernous storage space underneath that I reckon you could probably fit a small horse in. Now, the Kingham's corner washroom is certainly cosy, but it has everything you need. There's a shower, a loo, a sink, vanity unit, 2 mirrors, and even a blown air inlet, so you'll always be comfortable when you're doing your ablutions. Moving further forward, we have another great innovation in an Auto Sleepers motorhome, the drinks cabinet, which also comes with a set of 4 crystal glasses. Now, this is a touch that Auto Sleepers has been delighting its customers with for many years. They come free with every Auto Sleeper. There's a couple of other options that don't. For example, on our test van, we have this air conditioning unit from Truma in the roof. A couple of colleagues of mine on Practical Motorhome took this very van over to Spain and Portugal for a 10-day tour, and they found this an absolute godsend. There are other ways you can pimp up your Kingham, should you so decide. There is an options list, well worth having a look, just in case there's a few things on there that you think you can't live without. It's got loads of great touches and things that cooks really appreciate. 3 gas burners, a combination oven and grill, a nice deep sink to wash all your pots and pans afterwards, fridge with a removable freezer compartment, and everything. You can just look straight outside with the door open and enjoy the view. So cooking doesn't have to become a chore, it can become something that you really enjoy. And there's also a microwave oven if you actually just can't be bothered. But one of the other things that I like most of all is this handy retractable 3-way socket strip that just pulls up neatly from the worktop. Everything mounted at 90 degrees so that trailing wires aren't a problem. It's a fantastic solution, very space saving, and in the overall context of the van, it just shows that Auto Sleepers are thinking through all these small details all the time. The Auto Sleeper Kingham starts at £49,200 and is a lot of van for the money. In standard spec, it's packed full of interesting features that will definitely be very useful when you're out on tour. There are lots of added goodies as well that we've had a look at. There's an extra specification on this van, like a wind-out awning and a few other refinements inside that we've looked at. The Kingham is a fantastic addition to the Auto Sleepers portfolio, but more importantly, at the consumer level, it brings a fixed bed into a panel van conversion, which is great news for people that don't want the hassle of a make-up bed. And the slightly smaller dimensions of a van like this mean that you can take it to places you couldn't get into in a coach built. So from that point of view, that's an added bonus as well. So if you're looking for something that's slightly smaller, more fuel economical, easy to drive, easy to park, then something like the Kingham should definitely be in contention. Three cracking French-bred motorhomes right there, but we're not finished yet. We're taking a quick break, but we've got nothing less than the Niesmann & Bischoff Arto 66F when we come back.